Hey there, Star Wars fans. It's the Tundra Trooper coming at you, and I have a lot to go over in this video. Multiple Rebel topics and questions, and would love to hear your thoughts on them. I won't discuss the first two episodes of Season 3 Part 2 because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it. Also, stay tuned. As soon as I get my hands on the Rebel Smuggler's Bounty box, I will review it. Number 1, based on the new trailer, who do you think is going to kill Darth Maul? Will Obi-Wan get to finish what he started? Or do you think Maul may escape yet again and appear in Season 4? During Maul's vision with Ezra, when they joined the Holocrons, they both saw Tatooine. Rebels originally takes place only 5 years before A New Hope, so we have to see what kind of power Old Ben has. The way he is animated, though, he looks younger than in A New Hope, so they may not be sticking strictly to the timeline. When I first saw the episode Holocrons of Fate, I had a bit of a brain cramp and thought when Maul repeated "he lives," he was talking about Vader, whom could have been killed in the battle with Ahsoka or the collapse of the Sith Temple. Obviously, he was referring to Obi-Wan, his sole purpose in life for exacting revenge. It certainly would be satisfying to see Obi-Wan finish what he started. My opinion, however, is that Ezra will somehow be involved in this battle, helping Obi-Wan. There's a very slight possibility that Sabine could be a part of the battle to reunite Mandalore as Maul once ruled them. My guess, however, is that it's going to be Ezra. What would you like to see in the battle? Number 2, before the end of the season, will Maul somehow trick Ezra like Palpatine did to Anakin? Somehow trick him into, and I'm saying this with quotations, join the dark side to save his friends. If this scenario occurs, I think Ezra will only play along to go find and help Obi-Wan. Ezra told Sabine and Kanan the key to defeating the Sith was Obi-Wan, and I think that means through Luke. Number 3, what do you think of Kanan since he was blinded by Maul? In my opinion, he is much more badass. He seems to be coming into his own as a Jedi Master. He seems to have more control over his actions, more discipline, and more patience. I like how he was able to redirect the rocket launcher in the episode Hera's Heroes. It shows how just in tune his senses have become. I also like the addition of the Bendu and hope to see more of him. Number 4, do you think they are trying to make it seem too much like Ezra is going to turn to the dark side for disinformation? They have made him like Anakin in the fact that he wants more power to protect his friends. Maul is also pretty cocky about him becoming his apprentice. He used the Sith holocron alone before, and the Temple Guards warned Kanan on Malachor that the dark side pulls at him. It'll be interesting to see how this turns out. Number 5, while paying more attention, I've noticed that some things have already made it into some of the older movies or been brought back from the older movies, and obviously into Rogue One. I'm sure there must be more out there. If you know of any, please let me know. If you listen closely during the start of the Hoth battle in Empire Strikes Back, you hear Luke say, "Hobby, are you still with me?" He mentions Hobby twice in the battle. Hobby was one of the pilots rescued from the Empire Academy along with Wedge in the episode The Antilles Extraction. Rogue One, we see the Ghost in the Battle of Scarif. We hear Hera as an admiral paged at the rebel base on Yavin 4, and we see Chopper on the screen for a split second. Does the addition of Mon Mothma to Rebels plus the addition of the Rebels in the movie mean we could possibly get a live action Rebels movie? In my opinion, that would be pretty awesome. Number 6, next is Grand Admiral Thrawn. This guy is calm, cool, and collective. He is a master military tactician. Will he be the death of anyone before the end of Season 3? Right now there's speculation that he will be, and it's Hera. I find that unlikely as she's in Rogue One. In Star Wars canon, Thrawn is still alive and rebuilding the Empire after Return of the Jedi and the destruction of the second Death Star. If you haven't read it, I strongly suggest the Thrawn trilogy in the Legends novel series. Without spoiling everything in the book, Thrawn is able to get a hold of some reptiles, a species known as Ysalamiri. These these reptiles live or become a part of the tree branches that they live on. They're very difficult to remove, and he's able to acquire some of them. Although they don't have large, spiky scales, the picture that Thrawn has in his office resembles them. So that makes me wonder if he has any plans to try and obtain them into the series. At one part, the captain of the Star Destroyer makes a mistake, and he comes to Thrawn terrified. Thrawn replies, telling the captain that he's been around Vader too long, and he needs to settle down. But then he has a Vader moment later when a crew member allows Luke to escape a trap, and has Rook, who is a species called the Noji. Thrawn uses these guys as enforcers, brutally members the crew member as a message to the others. Noji are small, brute-looking humanoid creatures with fangs and bluish-gray skin. They are extremely good assassins with stealth and hand-to-hand combat. Their claws and their acute sense of smell makes them very formidable foes. And for number 7, the final question: when will we see Ahsoka again return into Rebels Season 3? Dave Filoni is quoted to say, based on fan response, that Ahsoka will be back in some capacity. Will she be a Force ghost, or is she alive and set to rejoin the Ghost crew at some point? Do you think any of the rumors floating out there are true that she may be speaking to Luke in Ahch-To in Episode 8? This would be especially intriguing, as she could mend her relationship with her former master Anakin in this way if Luke is also speaking with him. I find it highly unlikely, but would love to see her on the big screen. I also highly recommend her novel. It tells you a lot about what happens to her after she leaves the Order and what's going on during Order 66. Please share your thoughts with me and anything you would like me to cover or review. Please continue to bear with me, as I don't have anywhere near the best audio, lighting, or video equipment yet. I would like for my channel to grow along with other Star Wars collectors and fans. I'm open to suggestions and would love to chat with you about anything Star Wars related. It would help me a great deal to get this channel off the ground if you could press like and subscribe to the channel. Also, at the end of the video, I have some Star Wars vintage characters that my wife and I create, and they're on our eBay store at G&M Collectibles, or you can just search custom vintage and then the character's name and they'll come up. Thank you so much for listening, and may the Force be with you.